The Clovis Bray Corporation is the leading innovator in the most prosperous time of human history. We are proud to serve you, and proud of those of you within our ranks. Would you like to know more? You are Clovis Bray. Whether you're one of our distinguished top scientists, a valued consumer, or investor, we welcome you to the family. At our present rate of progress, current estimates predict humanity becomes an interstellar civilization within the century. Imagine the astonishing feats your children will witness, and the wondrous era of peace and productivity in which they will live. We have challenged ourselves and humankind to be better, to reach higher. You are part of an important moment in history. You are Clovis Bray. Every day, we are finding new applications for engrams that will make your life easier. At Clovis Bray, we are pushing the boundaries of computer science by utilizing the power of the engram. Would you like to know more? Engineers of the 21st century hit the physical limit in the advancement of silicon transistors, unable to resolve the issue of quantum tunneling at the nanoscopic level. The dream of quantum computing danced at the edge of our predecessors' imaginations, somewhere between science and science fiction. Ironically, it would take a further technological leap for us to later return and resolve the messy problem of quantum incoherence. That leap was the first successful encoding of solid matter by Dr. Willa Bray, opening a window to the wonderful and mysterious world of the engram. The latest and most exciting application of this new state of matter is within the field of engramic computation. Physically encoding conventional silicon transistors allows them to safely store exponentially more information in a smaller space. With that breakthrough, our computing power has grown immeasurably, and we can now actualize what was once bound to the dreams and fiction of our ancestors. The human mind in a mechanical body. We are at the cusp of major breakthroughs in making this a reality. Would you like to know more? Early experiments in exoscience managed to encode the human consciousness into a form that could be processed digitally. At the time, we believed that was the big hurdle to overcome in the creation of the exo. Little did we know, the real challenge would be the phenomenon known as dissociative exomind rejection. Nascent proto-exos developed serious symptoms of cognitive disorder that eventually led to death. It turned out the human mind would not reconcile its presence in a new body. It took multiple iterations in design, but the Clovis Bray Corporation eventually developed several solutions. The first is to reboot the mind once it has been transferred, allowing it to awaken inside its new shell as though it were being reborn. This has side effects of memory loss and fragmentation, but it's highly effective in the prevention of DER. The reboot process can be repeated multiple times to further the odds of survival. It is not currently known how many times a human consciousness can be rebooted, but scientists estimate it to be around 20. The second preventative measure to DER is to program certain humanisms within exos. As machines, they have not the physical needs to eat or reproduce like real humans, but artificially injecting that drive has been clinically proven to reduce the odds of DER. Further experimentation is required to perfect the EXO project, but you can be assured that Clovis Bray is at the forefront in the field of exoscience. Machines and morality. Within 5 decades, we hope to relinquish full autonomy of our defense network to Rasputin. But can we trust an artificial intelligence to make the moral decision? Would you like to know more? Autonomous vehicles were first built at the dawn of the millennium, prior to which there were over 1 million automobile-related deaths per year. AI programmers of the time found themselves confronted with moral quandaries that were once mere experiments in thought. A self-driving car on a collision course that kills 5 people has but one viable alternative, a new path where one innocent bystander is killed. For a machine to make a decision on whether to divert its course, its creator must undertake the impossible task of assigning an objective value to individual human life. It turns out that the ethical implications of artificial intelligence are a great deal more complicated than Asimov's laws of robotics led us to believe. The engineers of Clovis Bray conceived a solution during the development of our Warmind project. By relegating ethical decision-making to a black box morality system, the Warmind instruments its own proprietary virtue quantifiers incomprehensible to even its own creators. Rasputin determines morality on its own terms, and by design, we are blind to that process in order to preserve its objectivity. Clovis Bray is pushing the limits of computer science and engineering to secure humanity's future. Our Warmind project is a groundbreaking defense AI. Would you like to know more? The Warmind is a crowning achievement in human engineering. Utilizing the latest techniques in quantum and engramic computing to create a neural network of unprecedented processing power. Artificial neural networks are probabilistic systems that rely on a method of error calculation known as backpropagation. They are good at pattern recognition, but must be fed correct outputs to be properly calibrated. In the past, one could create a neural network able to identify a feline or canine when given images of these animals, but it would never be able to find a useful application for that knowledge on its own. The approach with Rasputin was to create a nested neural network that could not only detect patterns on a small scale, but recursively find patterns among all of its data. The end goal for this machine is for it to see things in a way that humans cannot, and thus predict and eliminate threats before we know of them. Valkyrie, Sleeper Simulant, Hades Flame, Aurora Knives. The weapons of the future are being developed by the Warmind Rasputin today. Would you like to know more? The goal of the Warmind project is to prepare our defenses for unseen threats. We are still learning to interface with Rasputin, but it's already in the process of helping to forge new weapons suited to protecting humanity. Communication with the Warmind has been a logistical concern from the project's inception. But the Hephaestus Index is a promising first step towards cooperation with our new commander and protector. This catalogue of next-generation weapons ranges from planetary cannons to small and mid-sized arms for use by ground infantry. There are currently over 150 projects in varying stages of research and development. By parsing data and performing calculations at a phenomenal rate, Rasputin is able to provide instruction in the form of math, the language of the universe. With Clovis Bray engineers and Rasputin working side by side, we can rest assured that our children will live in a prosperous, safe galaxy. From Mercury to the outer planets, Clovis Bray provides the most robust communication network in the system. Our Warsat network watches over us all. Would you like to know more? As humanity expanded to the far edges of the solar system, communication and logistics grew increasingly difficult along the outer planets. Pioneers of the outer frontier built makeshift transmission relays, but these were unreliable and prone to failure. The development of the Warmind program compelled a need for a unified circumstellar communication network. So Clovis Bray seized an opportunity to kill two birds with one exceedingly large stone. We built thousands of war satellites and deployed them throughout the system. These Warsats link with the Warmind designated Rasputin and with each other, forming an integrated defense and comms system. Each satellite is equipped with a state-of-the-art kinetic superconductor that shields it from Kessler debris and has an orbital life spanning hundreds of years. No matter what threats lie in store for us, rest assured that Rasputin and the Clovis Bray Warsats will never cease their vigilant watch over humanity.